Hello and welcome back to this channel. My name is Patricia, your attachment theory coach. In today's video, we are talking about the ick. What is it? Why is it there? What are the triggers for it and what you can do about it if you are the one experiencing it, or if you are the person on the receiving end. Maybe your partner went through the ick and suddenly ended a relationship that you thought was going really, really well. So what is the ick? The ick is a sudden onset of disgust or repulsion towards a person that you previously liked. And for the person who's experiencing the ick, it is extremely confusing. One moment, you are very into the relationship, you like your person, you like your partner, you're having a great time. Maybe you have decided to move deeper into the relationship, or you've opened up and revealed something very vulnerable about yourself in the relationship. And then all of a sudden, you just start to feel disgusted. Or if you are the partner of the person that's having the ick, you might have experienced that everything was going well in the relationship. Maybe you've just had a beautiful holiday or a really nice date. Or you might have decided to move in together or get engaged, get married, have a child. And then all of a sudden your partner withdraws or suddenly ends the relationship, or they just bring up a lot of criticism and painful memories from the past, and all of a sudden they start talking about all the things that are actually not working for them in the relationship, which can be extremely confusing. For the partner of the person who's experiencing the ick, it feels like the rug just all of a sudden gets pulled out from under you, and you don't realize, you don't know what happened. Why is this coming up all of a sudden? We were having such a great time. And for the person who is experiencing it, the concerns that are coming up in the relationships, or the relationship rather, seem very valid. So it seems that the concern that maybe your partner doesn't exercise. Maybe you think, okay, this is a super valid concern. All of a sudden it's popping up in my mind. Maybe you're a very active person and this person is not active. And up to this point, everything was okay, but something changed in the relationship and all of a sudden this really bothers you. Okay, so it shows you that there was no problem in the relationship before, or maybe there were small little things that annoy us. We will all annoy our partners. We are all annoying at some level. There's no perfect partner. If you're looking for the perfect relationship, it usually means that you have a fearful avoidant or a dismissive avoidant attachment style, and you're looking for this perfect partner that's never going to trigger you, where you're never going to find conflict. And those are the actual people that get the ick. And this brings me to the next point of why do we get the ick? The ick is there as a deterrent of intimacy. Usually the people who experience the ick are the avoidant types, fearful avoidant or dismissive avoidant. Because they are afraid of vulnerability, they are actually afraid of abandonment, they are afraid of rejection and getting hurt in a relationship. So their brain switches from liking the person to seeing this person as potential pain. And our brain starts to bring up all of these issues in the relationship to move us away from danger, move us away from pain. So the ick, as an experience by a person, might just feel like a sudden onset of repulsion, literally, like when something is off in your fridge and you open the fridge and you're just like, oh, this is disgusting. I just close the fridge and run away, go outside to get a breath of fresh air. This is exactly what it feels like in a relationship. It's like one moment it was fine, and then all of a sudden you just don't like your partner anymore. Something triggers you so much, and then you feel that repulsion. But if you slow down, you might notice that there are thoughts coming up to the surface, and on a somatic level, on a body level, there's a feeling of disgust, or there is this doomsday feeling or a heavy feeling in the body. And this is how you know that this ick feeling has been triggered. Usually if we want to end a relationship with somebody, it's because our needs are not being fulfilled after we've spoken about our needs, or there's unresolved conflict that cannot be resolved. So with the ick, it's just all of a sudden, there is a sudden change. And that's how you know you're getting the ick. And there's a strong feeling of repulsion in the body. And it is there to prevent you from getting hurt if you're the person experiencing it. So the triggers is any deepening of the relationship. Like I said, if you had a great date, or if the avoidant person opens up and feels more vulnerable. Or I was talking to my friend the other day, and she was telling me about how she experienced this even with friends, where her friends didn't respond to her the way she wanted. She felt rejected, and all of a sudden she just switched off, deactivated from the relationship, and she got the ick. Like she couldn't be around them anymore. But then upon further talk and examination, she realized like, wow, I actually felt very vulnerable and I wanted connection from those people, but they couldn't give that to me. So I just decided to push them away and reject them, so I wouldn't have to feel the full hurt of my own rejection. In my own personal life, I've experienced the ick with Matt, and I've spoken to him about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this video without discussing it with him first. I got the ick after we got engaged, and upon further examination, I realized that the fear of repeating my past mistakes, because I was married before and I got hurt in that relationship, and I didn't want to repeat the same thing in this relationship. And I started to find all of these faults with my partner, and there were certain things that were unresolved. So the reasons we get the ick, the most obvious reasons, is that we fear intimacy or vulnerability at some level for the people who experience the ick. Or what people usually don't talk about is that there are unresolved issues, like unresolved conflict. And the avoidant types are usually not very good at resolving conflict. With a dismissive avoidance, avoid conflict like the plague. So if there might have been something that happened in the past that really hurt them, that they don't know how to resolve with the partner, or they don't even acknowledge that it hurt them because they tend to sweep all of their emotions under the rug. So they might not even know, why am I being put off by a partner? But what I like to visualize it is if we don't resolve the little things in a relationship, they are like these little paper cuts that over time cause this feeling of repulsion away from our partner. And then the partner can do one thing, like wear the wrong shoes, or eat their chips in a very sloppy way, or stop exercising, or maybe let themselves go a little bit, and all of a sudden the partner's like, all of these other issues that are underneath the surface, they come up as this sense of repulsion as well. And then another reason why we can get the ick is because there are unfulfilled needs that are not being addressed in the relationship. And if this is you and you have needs that are not being addressed in the relationship, and you're thinking, well, if I address this, if I speak to my partner about my needs, this will end the relationship, then also think about it that if you do not speak to your partner about your needs, it will most probably end the relationship, because you will feel more distant and disconnected and unfulfilled in the relationship, and you will end up leaving that relationship. So the solution to the ick, and to figure out, is this the ick or is it a real concern that I'm experiencing in the relationship? A real concern will be there, and it will be slow and over time. It was not going to be this sudden onset of just disgust and repulsion and like, I just have to get away from this situation. That is usually a sign that something deeper was triggered. Now, if you are experiencing the ick, you can sit down with yourself and think, was I just vulnerable with my partner? Did my relationship just enter a new phase and I'm scared of that? I don't know if I'm ready for that. Is there any conflict or resentment that I haven't addressed with my partner? Or are my needs not being fulfilled? And the easiest way to figure out if your needs are being fulfilled or not is if you imagine that you're going into the next relationship, right? Like, what do you want from that relationship? Then you will figure out, oh, this is not what I'm not getting in this relationship. Or what is it that I don't like about this relationship? Then you have to speak to your partner about that. Of course, in a way that is calm and also respectful and considerate of your partner and their emotions around it. So that's how you can figure out, is this a real concern or is it just the ick? And the ick has also like a physical sensation to it. And if you're in a really safe relationship, you can even share with your partner like, hey, I don't know what's happening with me. This is what's going on. I just noticed myself switching off. I wouldn't really use the term the ick unless you are in a relationship with a person who does personal development and perhaps has seen a video like this or my video. Because it can make the partner feel like they've done something wrong or that you're disgusted with them. And even though it feels like you're disgusted with them, it's actually just your own response to closeness and vulnerability. So that's what we have to take responsibility for. And when we talk about it with our partner, we can say to them like, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. I noticed that I'm switching off. I don't really know what's going on. And I just need some little bit of time to figure it out. And it's not about you, okay? And that gives us the space to really figure that out in the relationship. And it also shows that the relationship is safe. Of course, your partner might have feelings about that, right? They might panic, especially if you're dating a more anxious type. They'll be like, oh my gosh, what's happened? What's going on in the relationship? So it's very important to reassure them and say, you know what, this has nothing to do with you or the relationship. I just need to figure all of this stuff out or maybe talk it out. Okay, if you're on the receiving end of your partner who has just had the ick, you just had a beautiful date or you just come back from holiday and then all of a sudden your partner just switches and loses feelings for you without any reason, you can address it with your partner and say like, hey, I can see that something happened that upset you or something changed in the relationship and I don't know what that is, and I just want you to know that I am here to talk about it. I know that I'm not a perfect person and that I will have flaws, and we can work through those flaws. We can communicate through them. Your feelings are important to me. Your needs are important to me. So please talk to me if there is something that is upsetting you or causing you to keep distance in the relationship, because I want to make it work with you. And this is a safe space to voice your feelings. All right. So in that way, you are still going to be communicating with the person, offering them space and creating a space of safety. Because usually when a person experiences the ick, underneath what seems so hurtful to the partner of the person who's experiencing the ick, the disgust, underneath that is a real fear of abandonment. All right, so I hope this helps you. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, liking, and sharing these videos. My goal is to reach as many people as possible because I truly believe that relationships and relationship coaching, attachment theory coaching specifically, can change the world and how we connect with each other. So if you would like to help me on my mission, like, subscribe, and share, and comment below. Those are the ways that you can get this channel to be viewed by more people so that we can all live in love, safety, and freedom and change the world. I know it's a big mission, but every little bit helps. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Big love.